I will show you that again from a different angle so you can see what I was saying about the train changing tracks. It is now on the outside again as we speak. When you see it come past the camera, you'll notice it will change from one to the other track. Effortlessly, no trouble whatsoever. Continuity of power is obviously there. Just with jumper cables and a temporary control board, I can now run, and because we put insulated joiners between the points, we can now run two trains individually on two different tracks. I will show you in a minute about the polarity difference. Now I should be able to go over here and change the points from one side to the other. So as this little train comes through, it will be able to change tracks. And you'll notice that the other one will try and do the same thing, will stop. So we're going to try and do this trick, this test, to see what happens. One train should run through, the other one should stop. Notice how it stopped on the point. That's because the insulator has stopped that power going through the other track. And because I didn't change the point, it stopped the train. Hi, back again. Another product I like to use to simulate grass. It's actually an outdoor carpet. It's extremely very flexible, very good. It looks to me like cut green grass. Now the beauty of this is it's 3mm thick, which is the same level as the track. You simply cut a piece of carpet into suit, like so. There is two surfaces. There are a smooth and a rougher surface. The rough surface is where you put the glue. Now you just use a normal contact glue. Sally's Kiwi Grip is a very good glue to use, by simply coating the two surfaces and then stick them down. I will show you that shortly. Right, we're just about ready to go. We've applied the glue to both surfaces. The difference with this glue is that you've got a very short window of time. When it dries out totally, it won't stick together. It has to be a little bit tacky when you put it down. I'll show you what I use, normal contact glue. Just a simple paintbrush to apply the glue to the surface, which does the job very well. I also put a mark underneath on the bottom of the carpet so we don't get the ends confused where it goes. A little trick to use, because you don't want the carpet to stick in the places where you don't want it touching. By using pieces of timber, as I'm showing you, this holds the carpet up and allows you to place it down to fit it in place. I'll show you as we go. So by sitting it on top of the sticks like this, we can now start laying the carpet. always make the carpet a little bit bigger than is on the outside, which allows you to trim it up to the exact size, rather than trying to cut an exact piece of carpet, which sometimes can be very hard. So we're now pushing it down with our hands. You can see the sticks now are holding the carpet up from the surface until I'm actually ready to put it onto the contact. It's feeding around quite well. So pointing out the sticks as you go and making sure that the carpet's putting down where you want it to go, as you can see. You can use a block of wood to push it down onto the surface to make sure it's sticking well. And if you're working in a confined area, this glue has a lot of smell on it, so you need to have some ventilation to make sure you're not breathing in too many fumes. And as you can see now, we've got artificial grass that can be vacuumed and very easy to clean, and it won't ever deteriorate and it won't affect the trains on the track. If you use little bits of the grass products they sell you sometimes, will actually get in the track and block the trains up. So this works extremely well. Don't be too concerned if you get a little bit of glue on the surface sometimes. A bit of general purpose thinners or mineral terps will take the glue off the carpet without damaging the carpet. As you can see, I'm now wiping the thinners over with a rag, and it's taking any blemishes off the carpet. Again, we go back to our old Stanley knife. We use a sharp Stanley knife to trim the edges. By putting the blade along the surface, you can see as I'm running the blade down the table, it cuts it off perfectly. A very simple job. We'll go around the corner and do the same thing. And that's all the waste that's left from the piece of the job. If it's a little bit not quite right on the track, you can actually put the Stanley knife against the track and trim it along the track if you need to, as I'm doing there. I've got a lot of work to do today, and I'll finish laying all the surface, and I'll come back when I'll show you when the surface has been finished. Thank you. Hi, back again. It looks like I need to put a new shirt on because it didn't look good for video. This is for the lady viewers out there. Maybe this will make a difference. I thought I'd show you the technique to apply the glue. Because we're covering this area of the table with the carpet eventually, it doesn't matter if you put the glue here on the carpet in this surface. So it's a simple fact of brushing all over the area. It's important that you get all the edges of the glue on the edges of the carpet. So that's what it should look like. If it goes a little bit onto the table there, it doesn't really matter, because when we glue it on eventually it will be covered over. So get this surface going like this. Don't be scared to put a fair bit on. Now it's cheaper to buy 4 litre tin, because you'd be surprised how much you go through doing this sort of job. So make sure you cover all the area. The carpet does absorb a little bit of the glue. It's really not that much of an issue. The main thing is that you make sure it contacts all the surfaces. You can see that the brush is probably the easiest way to apply it. You notice I put an X on the carpet again, because that's marking the bottom and the position where I want to start applying the carpet to the table. It's important that you don't get the surfaces mixed up. You can see the opposing X here on the table. I'm nearly finished this carpet section, and then we'll apply the glue on the cork where this is going to be fitted. You have to be fairly quick with this process, because the glue will be going off as soon as it comes into the atmosphere. It's part of the design of the product. So, now carefully when you do this, work the edge along the track. Try not to get too much glue on the track itself. You'll have an issue trying to clean it off. So by using the edge of the brush, you can run very carefully along the track without coating it. Again, we need to cover all the surface area where it's going to be put down. You can see how I'm feathering the brush to run the glue along the edge of the track. You've got about a 20-minute time window for this glue to go off and get tacky. It's not much more than that. So when you start this process, you need to be prepared and ready to go. You can't be stopped or interrupted in the middle of it, otherwise you will run into trouble. I'm nearly finished the surface now. A little bit more to go. Again, feathering the edge of the brush so it runs along the track, not over the track. It's a lot easier if you don't have glue all over the track trying to clean it up later. We're nearly there, so a little bit more to go. It doesn't matter if you run past sometimes where you're going to put the carpet. It can be covered over with paint or something else you put in there. There we go. Now when I finish this section with the brush, I put the brush in a container of thinners to keep it liquid, otherwise the glue goes off and the brush goes like concrete. So by putting it in the thinners, it's ready for the next application of the glue. Now I can very carefully just dab this away from the track if it's too close. There we go. And you like the new shirt? Evidently I had to put a new shirt on because it looks better for the video.